lock's not damaged. Someone had the key. Whoever it was, they went through everything thoroughly.
Don't you know there's a quarantine?
Did you notice anything suspicious this past hour?
One of the sick men has been throwing up constantly, and I suspect another one's faking it to skip work.
No, I need to know if anyone's been nosing around our room.
I spent most of my time with the vomiting one, or out in the yard scrubbing his bedding. I didn't see anyone.
Someone went through our room, or rather tossed it all about. Likely looking for something.
And what about the alchemy lab? Was that turned over too?
No. I think that one's untouched.
Oh, thank God. I'll go check it anyway, just to be sure. Was anything stolen?
That's the thing. Nothing was taken, so we don't even know what they were after.
I should have been more watchful, right? I'm sorry. I promise I'll keep a better eye on things from now on.
Don't beat yourself up. It's not your fault. Will you tell me more about yourself?
I can try. What would you like to know?
How did you get to the monastery?
Well, I walked. Or do you mean why I entered the abbey?
I'm more interested in that.
Very well. My parents are long dead, but I have 3 older brothers as well as 2 sisters. That is, I had 3, but one of them didn't live to see her first birthday. Nonetheless, I was born 6th. You see, I'm not a fighter, so I didn't join the army, and after paying for my sister's weddings, I couldn't afford to go to university.
So you had no choice?
Something like that. But I'm happy to be here. In just under 2 years, I've learnt many things. Perhaps the Lord will provide, and one day I'll be in charge of the entire hospital.
What did you do before you joined the abbey?
When my parents were still alive, I cared for them. And when they died, I started my postulancy.
And why did you have to care for them? You have a lot of siblings.
My sisters got married, my brothers left to search for work, and we never saw them again. My parents had nobody else left.
It was kind of you to take on that responsibility.
I didn't think of it as a responsibility. It just seemed like the right thing to do.
So you were with your parents until they...
Until they died. It was really challenging for me. But I feel it helped me discover my calling.
Caring for the sick, you mean?
Yes.
How's life in the abbey?
You're expecting me to complain, aren't you? I'm perfectly happy with a routine life. You eat from the same bowls at the same table every morning. Prayer is at the same time every day. And I fall asleep in the same bed every night. What more could you want?
Why do you work at the infirmary, of all places?
It's my divine calling.
What do you mean, divine calling?
The Lord chose me to become a healer, but he allowed me to learn through life and discover things for myself.
What, your divine calling is washing the sick, feeding them, emptying their bedpans?
Not just that. I mix potions, change the bedding, keep inventory of what's been used each day and what's needed for the next. And when I have some free time, I search the scriptorium for books on alchemy. There's a bunch of old tomes there full of long-forgotten recipes. I'm boring you, aren't I? Forgive me.
How did you discover you were supposed to become a healer?
I came to realize diseases don't cause me fear or aversion. Or compassion, for that matter.
But isn't that natural? When you see someone suffering, you shouldn't just be completely indifferent.
Imagine you have a stoneworker with a crushed foot come in. Bones poking out and bleeding like a stuck pig. Is it better to comfort him, or to decide in time that he'll probably lose the foot anyway, tourniquet the wound, and go and get a saw?
You're scaring me a bit, to tell the truth.
You're not the first person to say that, but don't think I particularly enjoy cutting off limbs or bleeding people. I'm just good at it.
If I ever need my wounds treated, can I come to you?
Of course. It's my job after all. I'm here most days, so you know where to find me.
I think I need some treating.
Is that so? You don't seem to be suffering too much. Forgive me, I have much to do.
God be with you.
I heard you've been having some trouble getting supplies for the infirmary.
That's right. Old Julian seems to think the sick can live on decoctions and ointments. We get nothing but scraps.
Wouldn't it make sense to take it to the abbot? Surely the Salarius would listen to him.
I've already suggested that to Master Zacharias, but the abbot hardly sees anyone, and certainly not folk from the infirmary.
Is he afraid of the plague?
Either that, or he's ashamed.
Well, if they want to let them starve, I don't know why they need two famed physicians for it.
My thoughts exactly. I've told him 100 times, but he just keeps saying he's praying for them. As if that would help.
Well, maybe I could try speaking to the Salarius myself and see if I can, persuade him.
I won't stop you, but I've tried everything I could think of. What's your plan?
Try to persuade him. He's bound to respond to something.
That old man only hears what he wants. But good luck.
Did you see anyone go in or out of our room?
I'm not sure. I think I saw a monk go in. I couldn't say who.
A monk? You mean Benedict?
No, it wasn't him. But hard to say. Damn it, why do they all look the same in here?
Yeah, it's not exactly helpful, I know. Any idea when that was?
Roughly an hour ago. Maybe 2. Has something happened?
Damn it. Never mind. Better if you ask Zacharias. Tell me something about yourself.
What do you want to know?
How did you end up in Zacharias' service?
I used to serve several important courtiers. I must have made an impression on Master Zacharias because he requested my service specifically. King Sigismund readily agreed, and so it will be 2 years now that I've been serving him.
Where are you from?
I was born in Zadar, that is in Dalmatia by the sea. I grew up at my uncle Stepan Lachkovich's court. Until recently, he governed a huge estate in central Croatia, Dalmatia, and Slavonia.
Until recently?
After an unfortunate event, our lands and properties went to Sigismund's father-in-law, Hermann of Scilly.
What do you mean by unfortunate event? The one that cost you your properties?
It was a little misunderstanding, which became known as the Bloody Sabor of Krzewcy.
Sabor?
An assembly of the foremost representatives of nobility and political power in the country. And at this particular assembly, King Sigismund had my uncle, along with most of his people, killed.
Why did Sigismund do that?
He was still bitter about Nicopolis. But what really angered him was my uncle's support for Ladislaus of Naples. He had long had his eyes set on the throne of Hungary, so you can imagine the king was not pleased.
Don't you want to take revenge?
Alone? Against the entire Holy Empire? I am no madman, unlike my uncle. He paid for betrayal with his life. Our entire family lost everything. Our properties, our standing, our power, our future. And I want to fix it. I wear black as a sign of shame for my family. I will not wear anything else until I regain the king's trust.
Are you sure you can accomplish that in one lifetime?
Worst comes worst, I'll die in black too. At least it is suited for the grave.
Not that I know many people from Dalmatia, but your name sounds more Hungarian.
And that is on purpose. The name Lachkovich is not exactly favored at Sigismund's court, so I have learned to use the Hungarian variant.
Everything's upside down.
I spoke with Benedict and Dennis. Neither noticed a thing.
I thought as much. We've all had our hands full here. So, we still know nothing.
I might have something, but I'm not sure yet how it ties to those records.
What do you mean?
I went down to the crypt, and I found open tombs and rotting corpses.
Good God!
No sign of a mass grave, though. Just individual tombs.
That's both good and bad news. At least we can now rule out the plague. But if the workers caught something from the air around those tombs, then anyone else could catch it too. Why did they even open them?
They were probably looking for something inside. I found this sketch.
That looks like the emblem of the Kingdom of Jerusalem. But why would they look for it among deceased abbots? Even putting aside that it's sacrilege, I don't see the connection.
Nor do I. But there must be one, because they locked me in the crypt over it.
What?
I ended up slipping out another way, but the foreman was waiting outside the door.
And?
He didn't end well.
Did he at least say anything? I mean, something that might help explain this.
There was no time for talking. He came straight for me.
I really don't know anymore. This sort of thing ought to be reported, but who can we even trust here? Maybe we'd better keep all this to ourselves. For now, at least. You might ask Crispin about the coat of arms too. With luck, he'll find something in the archives that sheds some light on how it all connects to those open tombs. But best do it tomorrow. This evening's been more than enough. One adventure a day is plenty.
Agreed. Let's clear up the room, then sleep.
We'll be wiser come morning.
Shopping beast. Kick its ass. You stop that, for Christ!
Mother of God.
For fuck's sake.
Good morning, everyone. I trust you've had a decent sleep. The sick are waiting, and being tired doesn't excuse us from our duties.
All right, give me a moment. Then we'll go and check on the patients. And where's Benedict, anyway?
If I may, gentlemen. Haven't you heard? There was a fire here last night.
A fire? Here at the monastery?
The small shed by the mill house burned down, but it was probably just an unfortunate accident. Thank the Lord it's all over now.
And no one was hurt?
Well, that's the thing. No one burned, but there were 2 men in the shed. Or rather, 2 bodies.
Bodies? Whose were they, for God's sake?
That... I don't know, sir.
Who found them? And how did he get them out?
Elijah, one of the lay brothers. He ran into the flames thinking he could save them, but they were already dead.
And what was he doing outside in the middle of the night? You don't suppose he had something to do with it?
He's never been any trouble. There's no reason to suspect him.
And how do you know they didn't die in the flames? Just because they weren't burnt to cinders doesn't prove anything.
I didn't see them, but they said there were no burns, and it didn't look like they'd suffocated either.
So, how did they end up there? What killed them? Didn't anyone tell you about them?
They were sent to be washed, but the washers noticed, signs.
How do you know about these signs? Did someone examine them?
No, they were only to be washed, but when the signs of illness were spotted, the abbot ordered them locked away in the hop store. Ludolf promised he'd send one of his men to guard the door. No one is to go near them.
That was highly irresponsible. Someone needs to examine them thoroughly. We can't afford uncertainty.
You want to bring them to the infirmary with the others? No. No, let them stay locked away somewhere separate.
Are you afraid the other sick might get even worse? At least we could have them all in one place.
Was anyone else there besides Elijah?
No, or at least no one I know of. I'll leave you to it now. If you need me, I'll be with the sick.
I'm going to. Disease? Fire? What next? A swarm of locusts?
First they ransacked my room, now this. I don't like it one bit.
Do you think the fire's got anything to do with what they were after in your chambers?
Who knows? I feel like someone wants us gone, and they're trying to frighten us into leaving.
All the more reason to get to the bottom of this.
But I can hardly go poking around myself to find out what really happened.
Don't worry. That's what I'm here for.
Well, maybe Zacharias was right after all. You never know when an aid like that might come in handy. So, what's your plan?
Quite a few things, actually. I'll take a look around the burned-down shed. There might still be some clues.
Good idea. It might have just been an accident, but it won't hurt to make sure.
I should probably speak with the lay brother who pulled the bodies out of the flames.
Elijah, right? But be gentle. No one should have to go through what he did last night.
What about the corpses? You said you wanted to examine them.
And that's what I'll do. We can't afford doubts when there's a deadly illness spreading.
But Benedict said the abbot forbade it, and that one of the knights is watching over them.
If he's got any sense at all, he'll understand this is serious. A proper diagnosis is key to the next step.
Whoever it is, he's still following orders. He'll know the risk if he disobeys them.
So what do you suggest I do?
Leave it to me.
So what you're saying is, use an unorthodox approach.
I could always bribe the guard. A few groschen might get me in to see the dead.
If you want to waste coin on foul bribery.
Like you said yourself, we need to be absolutely certain. Are we really going to argue about what that's worth?
You're right. Ethics aside, this is no time for gallantry. When you do get to those bodies, take your time and make sure you do a thorough examination. Don't be squeamish.
So, what exactly should I be looking for?
Anything unusual. You know well the symptoms the sick here have, but a keen eye may spot other signs too. If you're not sure, just try to remember what you saw. If you describe it to me later, I should be able to identify it.
I can't think of anything else.
Nor can I. Well then, best of luck.
Right then. Where to begin? I'll start on the older one. Pale, sunken eyes, missing some teeth, though that might just be age. But that hole in his head is someone's doing. Small, round, clean. Maybe from an arrow? Hard to say. Completely stiff. Ugh. Clenched tight. Like he was ready for a fight. Skin's badly scratched. And there's a thorn stuck here. Looks like from a rose. Stiff as a board. But no broken bones. Back and shoulders all scratched up. Like he was dragged through brambles. And around his neck and chest he's got red blotches on the skin. Those blotches look familiar. They're a bit like the ones on that old confessor. Looks like this poor wretch caught the same thing. Knees are scraped and scarred. He must have worked hard in his life. Now, let's take a look at the younger one. Muscle stiff, but the body looks supple. What's that in his hair? Ugh. Better mind my fingers. Ugh. He retched his guts out before dying. That suggests infection. It's all clumped together. Looks like flour, or maybe lime. Yeah, it's flour. Ugh. Bruising, some dried blood, but no broken bones. He's young, but his hands are a mess. Covered in scars, nails broken, looks like hard labor. And 2 workers did go missing. That can't be a coincidence. Those bruises are odd. Regular. Almost perfectly circular. Did someone beat him with something round? That's odd. I don't see anything odd here. Ribs intact, belly soft. No sign of violent death. Just his back and hips are badly scraped. No blood. Like he was dragged over gravel after he died. A few old scars, gravel embedded in both knees, and blood around the groin. Barely dried. Could it have leaked out after death? Mixed with bowel contents. Bloody diarrhea. Like with the infection. Well, what's clear is they didn't die in that burning hut. More likely they succumbed to the infection spreading in the monastery. The symptoms match perfectly. And those strange injuries, I've never seen anything quite like it. It might have helped finish them off. Someone must have hauled the bodies into that shed. And it left marks on them, It might be possible to trace where they came from. Let's speak to Albic about it. Not much left of the shed. Elijah had more luck than sense. Where did this wine come from? A torch? Damn, this wasn't an accident. Someone torched the shed to cover their tracks. At least this grill is here. Rough cloth, badly charred, and bits of leather. Probably used as knee protection for work. Oil. It burns like the devil. No wonder there's barely anything left of the shed. Overturned sacks, soaked ground, so that's why the dead man had flour in his hair. That's one deep rut. Whoever dragged them, the poor wretches gave him a rough time. There's a lot of you here. Which one of you is Elijah?
Keep your voice down. Elijah,
Spirit of
isn't
Christ, bless me.
Any idea where Elijah is?
Not a clue. Haven't seen him since last night.
Wash me. Suffering of Christ.
Ah, what do you want from me?
I need to speak with Elijah. Do you know what's up with him?
Try the cellar. I caught sight of him sneaking down there this morning.
If you saw him, he didn't sneak all that well, did he?
Exactly. He made quite a racket doing it. Till we meet again.
What are you...
You're Elijah, right? What are you doing here?
What do you think? Hiding and hoping everyone leaves me alone. I don't want to talk to anyone anymore.
I get it. You don't want to remember. I've seen some nasty things too. But sometimes it helps to talk to someone. It's definitely better than drowning your wits in schnapps.
Well, all right. What do you want to know?
How did you even notice the fire? What were you doing outside?
I couldn't sleep, so I went for a walk. It was just chance.
Just chance? You sure? I don't think the abbot would be happy about folk wandering around at night.
So what if I took a little walk?
You sure you weren't sneaking off somewhere for a drink?
Hey, what do you even know about me? After a night like that, you'd have had a drink too.
All right. Sorry. Did you see anyone else at the fire?
No. No. Just the dog was there.
The dog?
That's how I noticed the fire. The dog was darting about, barking like mad, so I thought there was someone inside. Someone alive.
When you dragged out those two bodies, what did you do then?
While I was pulling out the second one, other people had noticed the fire. One of the knights grabbed me and started yelling that I was the arsonist. Luckily, he saw the bodies and how I was covered in, well, the same filth they were. Then the people from the monastery came. They sent me away and took the bodies off somewhere. I don't know what happened after that.
I've seen the corpses, and I've got a few questions.
Does it have to be?
Do you have any idea who those two were?
I've no idea. It was dark, I couldn't see their faces. Thank God. As it is, I'll be dreaming about this for a long time.
I noticed some strange things about them.
Like what?
Dead men weigh a lot. How did you even get them out of the burning shed?
On my back? Like carrying a sack. Why?
Their backs were badly scraped, so I thought maybe you dragged them by the legs or something.
That must have happened before. Maybe when someone dragged them in. Godlessness.
They had something white left in their hair, like lime or flour.
Lime's used by the workers on the building site, and the mills just nearby. But how it got in their hair, I've no idea.
It looks like they died of the same illness that's spreading through the monastery infirmary.
Christ! And I touched them. But I feel fine. So far.
You'd best go and see Brother Benedict. He'll examine you, and at least clean up those burns.
All right then.
Thanks. I'll leave you be now.
Wait, I've no idea what to do with myself. I thought I'd finally do something right for once in my life. And how did I end up? Covered in shit, face burned, and humiliated. I'd rather never step outside the door again.
What are you on about? You acted like a hero.
Hardly. I'm a coward and a drunk.
Who ran into the flames to save his fellow man.
Aye. And what did it get me?
If not for you, they'd have burned to ash and wouldn't even have a decent burial. This way they can pass on with dignity. So stop feeling sorry for yourself and be a bit proud, all right?
Right. Right. Thanks.
I'm investigating the source of that illness that's been spreading around here, and I could use your learned knowledge.
I'm listening.
I came across the symbol of the Kingdom of Jerusalem during my investigation, and I was wondering if you might have any records or anything that might be connected to it.
If memory serves, something should definitely be here. I even dabbled in it myself long ago. We have the legacy of a knight named Boleslav Bavor, who journeyed through the Holy Land and visited Jerusalem. There was some connection to the monastery crypt, if I recall.
Really? Because I actually came across it in the crypt.
What? What are you talking about?
Well, I ran into some laborers down there. From what I gathered, they were trying to rob some of the graves, and they were looking for something tied to the Jerusalem cross.
By Christ, they were after the relic.
What are you talking about? What relic?
There's a possibility that Bavor was buried here along with a certain relic. That's what got me interested back then.
What sort of relic are we talking about?
I don't know exactly, but certainly something very rare. I believe it's linked to Jesus Christ himself, but I can't tell you for sure right now. It's been many years, and even back then I never found anything substantial apart from Bavor's records of his travels. In the end, I concluded that the whole tale of the relic was likely just Bavor's own fabrication.
But why would the workers suddenly be looking for it now? How could they have found out?
It's certainly a strange coincidence. Then again, there are all sorts of lies and half-truths circulating out there about our monastery, unfortunately. Especially tales of long-sealed treasures and hidden cellars full of silver. If even a sliver of it were true...
It still feels like too much of a coincidence to me.
You'll be surprised what people will believe when tempted by the prospect of riches. And we don't have any better explanation right now. Either way, we must report it to the abbot without delay. Robbing the dead is disgraceful.
You're right. The abbot ought to be told, but it's probably not wise to burden him with it now. Right now, we need to deal with the illness. Once things have settled down, we can make sure those thieves get what they deserve. Besides, we've got almost no proof yet. If I manage to investigate the matter of Bavor more thoroughly, I might stumble on something.
Still, it's a serious thing. We mustn't wait too long.
Of course. Once I've gathered the evidence, I'll explain everything to the abbot straight away. And now I'd like to take a proper look at Bavor's travel records.
Of course. Give me a few moments. I'll find them for you. And I believe Bavor's name also appeared in some old accounts. I'll try to track those down too. Here you go. Bavor's travel records about his journey through the Holy Land. And I've also found these old accounts. Feel free to study them too. I'm curious myself what conclusion you'll come to, if any.
Oh. It really says here that he acquired a holy relic. Let's see how it continues. According to the journal, Bavor had himself buried here with his holy treasure. That sounds pretty clear. Let's see what the accounts say. So Bavor gave the monastery a generous donation and paid for a chapel mural painting. And still, despite all the records and mentions, Crispin had his doubts.
Sense of this mess. Well, are you...
I read the journal. A lovely tale. It really brought the Holy Land to life.
And?
And it says the relic Bavor acquired was a splinter from the true cross of Christ.
Holy Virgin! Such a sacred treasure!
And according to the book, Sir Boleslav was to be buried with the relic in the monastery crypt.
So it says in the book. I also found my old notes and remembered how it all went back then. I too searched for Bavor's grave. I even dared venture into the crypt, but despite all my efforts, I never found it.
How is that even possible? A grave can't just disappear.
Quite frankly, I don't know. And I didn't know then either. Once I was convinced none of the graves belonged to Bavor, I laid the matter before the abbot, but not our father Jan. This was over 20 years ago when Abbot Vitus held office. May the Lord grant him eternal peace. Together we came to the conclusion that Bavor's tale was likely at least partly, perhaps entirely, made up.
Why would it be made up? Surely Sir Boleslav wouldn't lie about something so serious.
The book's one thing, but there's not a single other mention anywhere. The grave's missing, the relic's nowhere to be found. Can you think of another explanation, then?
The account books mention that Bavor had a sarcophagus made at his own expense.
That's possible. Does it mean anything?
If he paid for it himself, there had to be a reason. Masonry work like that is no small matter. And it's odd, isn't it? He sorted it all out in detail with the monastery to have his tomb here. Then he wasn't even buried here.
You're right. I never made that connection before.
But why would Bavor do that? What would he gain by deceiving everyone here?
If memory serves, he had some disputes over property. Maybe he wanted to improve his reputation.
Well, that's mentioned in the text. But lies wouldn't have helped him. Quite the opposite, if he'd been found out.
You'd be surprised how short-sighted some folk can be. But I agree. Something about it doesn't sit right.
And what about the mural mentioned in the accounts? Does it really exist?
Yes, it's in one of the chapel naves. It depicts several scenes from Bavor's alleged adventures.
Well, then that proves Bavor's story wasn't just made up. Surely the abbot back then wouldn't have approved such a mural in the main church if he hadn't believed it was true.
If the former abbot believed Bavor wasn't a liar, but a real hero of the Holy Land, I'll believe him too.
All the more reason I want to see it for myself.
No harm in trying. At the very least, it's a fine piece of work.
Bavor mentions in his journal that he received a great fortune from the King of Cyprus, and the account records say he gave a generous donation to the monastery. Do you think that was made up too?
They confirm at best that Bavor had wealth, not where it came from. According to the late Abbot Vitus, he might have gained that fortune by plundering or as spoils of war, and the tale of the Holy Land was just a cover to mask the dishonorable origin of his riches.
Well, I've never been to the Holy Land, but I've seen plenty of wrongdoings, even here in Bohemia. And if Bavor really wanted to cover up how he got his coin, he could have built a village, built a fortress, or who knows, bought up a mine. He could have done any number of smarter things than spinning a tale about a heroic journey halfway across the world, don't you think?
I'm no expert in fraud, but yes, he chose a rather complicated cover-up if that's what it was.
The crypt has a hidden side chamber, you know.
Excuse me? What chamber?
It had been walled up. In one part of the crypt, the masonry was loose, so I managed to get inside.
I've never heard of anything like that. Perhaps even Abbot Vitus didn't know of it.
I'd say the abbot would definitely have known about something like that. He just didn't tell you. Maybe on purpose.
Where are you going with this?
I'm not sure. Just thinking out loud, really. And then there's the relic. If Bavor had just wanted to raise his reputation with a good story, why claim to have gained something so rare?
Perhaps out of vanity? There's no shortage of that among the nobility.
But his tale's already heroic enough without it. Making up a relic would only draw unwanted attention.
That's a good point. It'd be too risky.
Don't you think this whole thing is a bit too complicated? Every explanation for why Bavor would lie seems more convoluted than just acknowledging it's true.
Listening to you now, it's like hearing my younger self. And I sound exactly like Abbot Vitus. His view was that Bavor's story was fiction. He told me I'd be better off letting it go.
What exactly did he say?
That I should stop chasing old crusaders and focus on real, meaningful work.
Vitus isn't here anymore. So we can pick up where you left off. And maybe we'll finally unravel Bavor's mystery together.
If that relic really does exist, and it surfaced now, it'd surely be a sign from the Lord, a sign of hope in these desperate times.
Don't get ahead of yourself. We've not even found Bavor's tomb. Without it, we're stuck.
But you spoke of that hidden chamber in the crypt. If there's any clue, it'll be in there. Take this and study it closely. It's a drawing of Bavor's family coat of arms I came across years ago. According to this, you'll know if it's truly the grave of Sir Boleslav. Yes, the mural in the chapel, paid for by Bavor himself, also bears his coat of arms.
Those workers, if they really were after Bavor, they only had a drawing of the Jerusalem cross. But if he was buried under his family crest, no wonder they opened the wrong graves.
Yes, that could be it. Study that sketch well, so you won't make the same mistake.
Thank you. I'll head off at once.
Just be careful, please. You know the abbot's orders, the disease, all this misfortune.
Don't worry. I'll be careful.
And in the crypt, show respect to the eternal rest of those buried there, especially now, with death haunting the monastery.
I should take another look at that sketch from Crispin, so I know what I'm even searching for. some past abbot's tomb. Maybe even Heinrich. Nice. Oh. Good thing I've got the hood. Sarcophagus of a nobleman, disturbed by those workers. Most likely because of the large cross. But Bavor ought to be buried under an arrow crest. This must have been some knight. There's a cross above his head, but a rose in the crest, and I'm looking for an arrow. Looks more like an abbot's tomb from the carving. Good thing. I'll be shifting that rubble for days on my own. This one's rather worn down. I think I can make out the abbot's symbol. Bavor's crest. So it's true. What? That's not Bavor. I need to tell Crispin. Bloody hell. God have mercy on your soul. Who was here? Could someone have been following me? That Teuton may have died in my place. Poor wretch. But he didn't go down easy, judging by the blood. Looks like this one was shadowing me in the crypt. But how the hell did he get into the monastery?
Possible there's not a single record.
Brother Crispin?
Henry, I searched through the archives again to see if I might still find something on Bavor, but so far nothing. And your search in the crypt? Did you dare go down there?
I dared. And more than that, I truly did find Bavor's sarcophagus in the hidden chamber.
By all the saints? And the relic? Was it there?
No. I was hoping, but I don't think it's that simple. There's a sarcophagus with Bavor's crest, but Bavor isn't the one lying in it.
What? You?
I had to know. Judging by the robes, I'd say it's an abbot or some other high-ranking cleric.
Good Lord, that's truly strange.
And do you know what's even stranger? I think someone was watching me down there.
Watching? Who? Did you see anyone?
He was some armed fellow, but definitely not one of Ludolf's men.
Holy Virgin, an armed stranger in the monastery? How could that even happen?
I've no idea, but it certainly doesn't help my peace of mind. There's not much we can do about it now anyway. Best thing is to solve this mystery about Bavor as soon as we can.
So, you're saying you found a sarcophagus with Bavor's crest, but not Bavor himself?
Exactly. I have no idea what to do next. I was kind of hoping you might come up with an explanation. That chamber looked untouched for years.
Explanations do come to mind, but they're purely speculation. It's possible Bavor was never buried here at all. Or perhaps his grave was moved.
What do you mean, not buried here? Everything points to it.
Until we find the body, we can't be certain. The travel records, the accounts, all point to the intent, but not its fulfillment.
There was his coat of arms on the bottom of the sarcophagus.
Yes, which would support my second theory that his remains were moved.
But why would anyone move him? Isn't that against God's will or something?
There are reasons for it. They're internal matters of the monastery. I shouldn't be discussing them with a layman.
Oh, come on, Crispin. We're searching for Bavor together. Surely you could make an exception. Just forget for a moment I'm not a monk like you, and tell me what you know. Please.
Oh, very well. Since you're so insistent, to be laid to rest in the monastery crypt near the altar is the best one can hope for the soul of the departed. Normally such places are reserved for abbots, but this privilege can be granted to others in rare cases.
That would explain why Bavor might be buried there, but not why he isn't.
I'm getting to that. A place of such honor may be given for great deeds, or a truly generous donation. But if the person has been dead for a long time, and has no surviving kin to speak for him, then it's possible the body may be moved to make way for a deceased abbot, or a potential new benefactor.
I see. And I understand that's not an easy thing for you to speak about.
Thank you. Still, the deceased isn't simply tossed aside. He's respectfully moved to another resting place, just not as prestigious.
Right. But that brings us back to the question. So where could they have moved Bavor to?
Most likely to the consecrated field next to the monastery, or the graveyard by the infirmary church of St. Cosmas and Damian.
Hang on. That consecrated field is enormous. I'd be searching for weeks, and I can't even get in there now. Better to scout the infirmary church first.
God be with you, Henry. I hope you manage to find Bavor at last.